Welcome to Community Taking Action, ABCD's program highlighting people and organizations that are doing things in and around the Boston community. Today we'll be highlighting health services, and joining us for that conversation will be Jacqueline White and Lindsay Redmond. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are both program coordinators.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So what do you coordinate?
I coordinate the It Pays program. It's a several week-long intervention, usually about 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay.
And we usually are operating with pre-existing groups. So community organizations that already have girl groups or have teen groups with access to girls.
What is your role, within this program in terms of making it happen?
I oversee implementation of the program. I make sure that we're sticking to the evidence-based curriculum that we work with. It means I'm doing all of the scheduling. I connect with the programs that we work with.
We're going to shift over and we're going to talk to Jacqueline and get learn a little bit more about the Sister2Sister program that you run.
So I'm the coordinator of the Sister2Sister program. It's different from the It Pays program in that it's a one-time intervention, which may be good for scheduling purposes for the target group that we look for. So it's a brief intervention, about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how much information the young women already kind of come with. And so what I do is during that session is it's a risk assessment that's done to kind of see where the young women are at, and it will let me know. It'll let me know that what behaviors they may be engaging in that may be putting them at risk for sexually transmitted infections or HIV. With that moving forward, we kind of take that information and work on skills to help them kind of move forward and be safer and healthy.
Are you the primary person that is having this conversation with the young girls?
Yes, definitely. I'm the primary person having the conversation with the young women, doing the risk assessments. We do a lot of community outreach to get the young women, so I myself will go out with the health educator who also kind of spreads the word in the community so that my face is seen. And then, so I make the original contact with the young women, hopefully face to face. And then again, so now that they've become familiar with me, it provides an opportunity to see a familiar face because they're going to be talking about intimate information during this risk assessment.
How do you establish a level of trust and comfort in a one-time intervention?
Because it is that one time, I'm not going to see this person again. They're very willing and open to speak about the information that's requested on the risk assessment.
Our biggest hang-up in my groups is I work with younger women than Jacqueline does. And
Remind me the age group.
14 and 19. At 14, you may or may not be sexually active, but more than likely you're going to be shy about it even if you are. And I'm finding that a lot of the girls, most of the girls aren't at 14, which is what the data tells us as well. 14 is usually they're still not entering into sexual relationships.
That's good.
When you hit 15, 16, it starts increasing exponentially.
Give me a success story. What does success look like?
I would say my biggest success story would be one of the young women who I spoke with. I was talking to the young ladies about making goals for themselves. Maybe, and I don't come from a values-based perspective, so I say, whatever you want your goal to be, that's your goal. But let's make a plan so that when you get into a situation that maybe, requires a little bit more savvy, you already have a plan. And when the young women came to me and said, you were right, it came out of nowhere, this situation, but I was prepared and I had a plan. And that felt really good to hear. So she was protected in that situation.
Right.
For me, it's hard to measure success in that I only see the individuals one time. But for example, I met with a young woman last week who divulged some information that was putting her at risk for receiving STIs in a way that she had never thought of this specific sexual act could warrant STIs. And just the mere fact that she walked away receiving that information, and it was almost like shock value for her. And she walked away saying, I just never knew that, and that now she will use the condoms moving forward. So she doesn't have to necessarily stop her behavior, but make an addition to it by using the condoms could make her that much safer. And that for me was a success.
Someone in our audience may know of a young lady, young girl that has a need to have a conversation with either of your programs. What's the best way to reach out?
For me, the best way, and it depends on the person, I'm available through email. I have a work cell phone and a office phone. So I'll just quickly give out the office phone number. It's 617-348-6264. And my email is jaclyn.white, just like the color, at bostonabcd.org.
Excellent.
And the best way to reach me would be office phone 617-348-6454.
We thank you for joining us on Community Taking Action. Tune in with us next time as we highlight more programs, more people, more organizations that are doing things in and around Boston for the community. Until next time.